Welcome to another live webcast from the offices of thevj.com behind me. Today's topic, as you can see from what I've written out, is balanced news is bullshit. In my case, I've done B-U-L, asterisk, but it's still bullshit. There was a big discussion, mostly on the Mojo thing, but at some places, that journalism should be balanced. I don't know where this idea came from, but this is like saying news and journalism should be insipid, or oatmeal, or have no taste, or flavorless. Balance is bullshit. Nobody wants balanced news because the whole notion is ridiculous concept. Either something is this or it's this, but it's not a little bit of this and then maybe a little bit of that, because that leaves nothing. It's like a positive, a negative, matter, and antimatter. They cancel out. There's nothing left. If you look at the First Amendment, you'll see the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law abridging a free press. The First Amendment does not say Congress shall make no law requiring that both sides of an argument are always equally offered, because there aren't two sides to an argument. The whole point of a free press is you as the person making the press, whether it's on television or it's on video or it's on a newspaper, is about this is what I believe. This is how I see the world. And if you don't see the world this way, you go make your own newspaper. That's how where did this notion of balance come from? It came from the invention of television. But first I'm going to tell you an absolutely, totally true story which show you what bullshit the whole thing is. A long time ago, after I quit CBS News and I bought my little camera, I went to shoot a video. I used to shoot a lot of stuff in the Gaza Strip. I had a lot of connections there. And during the first Intifada, I went to the Gaza Strip and I shot this story about what life was like for Palestinians in Gaza. And believe me, it sucks, and it's a lot worse now. So I came back and I spent a month living in Gaza. Unlike going with CBS News, where I'd go in for a day with an Israeli film crew, I actually lived with a Palestinian family in a refugee camp for a month, so I had a pretty good sense of what was going on there. I came back with all my little video and I took it to the PBS NewsHour, which is still on the air, and they bought two pieces from me. One was the Gaza story, because they didn't get that kind of access all the time. And so when I finished cutting the piece and I gave it to them, the guy who ran the thing, Les Crystal, took the piece, and Robert McNeil, who was the big correspondent, took me into his office and he said, "We have a problem with your story." Well, it couldn't be with the veracity of it, because I actually lived in goddamn Gaza for a month by myself. So they said, "Well, what's the problem?" They said, "There's no balance here." I said, "What do you mean balance? I did a piece about what it's like to live in Gaza during the Intifada. Where's the balance part?" So they said, "Well, we can't put this on the air without balance." So I said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "We want you to go interview a representative from the Israeli consulate in New York." Well, that Israeli consulate was not in Gaza. The only people I saw in Gaza from Israel, the ones that were bombing and flying planes over. Anyway, to get my thing on the air and to get paid, that's what I had to do. So I went and sat with this guy, and we screened the piece for him that I had shot and cut, and then he got to make comments on it that cut into the thing. To me, this was bullshit to start with. But then after it was over, because I had to get paid, I turned to Robert McNeil, who ran the thing, and said, "Let me ask you a question. When you do a piece about Soweto, which was the black ghetto in South Africa when there's still apartheid, do you feel that you have to then go get Pretoria's point of view? When you do a piece about the gulags in Russia, Soviet Union, do you have to go get a piece of Moscow's point of view, Stalin's point of view? Well, it was necessary to lock up the enemies of communism, and therefore we had to torture them." No, of course you don't do that. Today, it's a balanced thing. When they do a piece about ISIS, do they go get ISIS' point of view? "We believe in the Islamic State. It is important, therefore, to cut off people's heads." No, the whole thing is a lot of crap. Nobody gets a balanced point of view when it comes to, where's the Nazi point of view on the Holocaust? The Jews were terrible, right? So it's ridiculous, this notion of balance. Sometimes you want balance when? You want balance when there's a political entity in America that's opposed to what you do. Balance is bullshit. Don't give me balance. Give me your opinion. Give me the way you see the world. Because I got news for you. Palestinians see the world in the Middle East very different from Israelis see something that happens in the world. Each one point of view is entitled to their point of view, but you don't mix them together. So for me, balance is bullshit. And that's all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to learn more and see more, come and see us at thevj.com. Is that right?